Hey, it's Kim Darweza here, your Northern Virginia realtor, and I have this week's market update. The interest rates have pretty much trumped coronavirus when it comes to the real estate market, and we are still in full swing even in December, which is normally one of the slower months of the year. So I just want to go through some of the stats and some predictions. Real estate is 15% of the US gross domestic product, the GDP. So it is a large part of our economy and is definitely still the superstar of the economic recovery. According to Freddie Mac, we have a 2.5 million unit shortage of homes in the United States. So that's going to continue to keep us in this seller's low inventory market situation. And I would say we're not going to have a long, if I got out my crystal ball, I would say we're not going to have longer days on market until 2022 due to the interest rates remaining low. The compound annual house price appreciation historically is about 3.8% since 1991. If you add that up from there, it's about 6.1% if you calculate it from 2012. And September, we were looking at 7%. So we're still going up with a historic compound. A lot of people will be like, oh yeah, I'll bid whatever I want on the house. I'll do an escalation and then I'll just try to renegotiate the price when the appraisal comes in low. Well, I hate to tell you, appraisals are not coming in low. They're coming in at market value. I haven't seen that many low ones. So even if you get the opportunity to do that, most buyers are waiving the appraisal contingency because it's, like I've said in the past, I tell my clients if they really want the property, they need to put their money where their mouth is, because you can say you'll pay, the sky's the limit for the house, but if you aren't really going to pay that, then, what good is it to the seller? So those opportunities to renegotiate are not happening, because most people are waiving the appraisal contingency, and secondly, because the houses really are appraising. Like, I've been shocked. Like, there are a few I was really a little worried about, and they've all appraised. So, and I even saw one that was like 10,000 above, which was shocking to me, because usually the appraisers come in like right at the number, 1,000 above, because they don't want questions from the underwriter and have to do all this extra work. So anyways, I, unlike most, I would say like 80% of agents, like, just gave themselves a 90-day furlough during the pandemic, but I've continued to work through this market. So I feel like I have a really good grasp on what's going on and a really good knowledge. So if you're looking to buy or sell, I definitely think I'm a good person to interview, because I've been in the market, I'm in touch with it, and I'm not going on. And like I said, a lot of these agents just panicked during the pandemic and they just sort of furloughed themselves for whatever reason. They didn't continue up with their follow-up calls and marketing and that. They just took a little vacation. So anyways, I just thought I'd throw that out. I also think we're going to have a strong 2021, because we have 56 million buyer. The millennial buyers are coming into the marketplace, and we only have two and a half months technically of houses for sale in the US. So, and all the millennials are ready to, either the older millennials now have a lot of them have children, and so they're looking to go from like the condo or the townhouse to the single family home. And then the younger millennials who have been renting or living in their parents' basement are now ready to make a move and make a purchase. So I also wanted to talk about some of my projections. So the Republicans are going to have control of the judiciary for a while. and they're going to control the Senate, and the Democrats are going to control the presidency and the Congress, is what it looks like. So we're going to have 2 years basically of gridlock with no one being able to agree or make a decision on anything. But we will still have 2 years of an unbelievable real estate market, because usually that stuff doesn't really affect us. But anyways, the interest rates are still going to remain in the 2s from what I'm hearing, might go up to 3. So it's really, people are going to have an interest rate that they're going to brag about for the next 20 years. So again, like I've said in previous videos, you can buy a house for $1 million, that you could buy the same house for $900,000, the same mortgage payment a year ago. Because of the interest rate, your mortgage payment is going to be the same or lower. So my projections for 2021, I honestly don't think people are going to go back to the office in 2021. I know my husband's office, which is in Manhattan, they are not going back until July. They've already said we're not opening until July, and then we're going to be on a hybrid system where we're going to have a calendar, and a certain number of people can come in certain days of the week. And so they're not going to have a full office. And I'm assuming the people that live in their 500 square foot apartments in Manhattan are the ones that are going to be like really itching to go back in the office. So I think that's going to affect a lot of things. So companies who are basically killing it during this recession, they may just give up their office space because they don't want to pay high rent for office space, and no one's working there anyway, and they're still doing well. So I think that's going to change some things. And if people don't have to go back to work, I think people are going to, this is a very expensive area to live in. I think people are going to go to lower cost of living areas, beaches, mountain areas. I mean, everyone and their mom is moving to Jackson Hole. There's literally like one house for sale. And I used to say like 5 years ago, you couldn't get a double wide in Jackson Hole for less than 500,000. Now it's just crazy. And people have moved out. I know a lot of agents and a lot of people are actually buying in Idaho, which is the part which borders Jackson Hole, because it's just real close. I have a lot of friends that actually live there. So I think a lot of people are going to, I mean, if you have a kid in high school and we actually go back to school, then yeah, some of those people will probably stay because their kids aren't going to want to move school. But if their kid like wants to go to school in California or some other place, they may move because they're like, well, if I can file tax returns for 2 years in the state my kid wants to go to college in, then they can get in-state tuition. So I think people might move for those kind of reasons. And right now you have an ability to buy investment property now in urban areas at a very reduced or discounted price, which I think a lot of people, they're going to want to do that because the market will eventually come back. So if you can get a reduced price property right now, I mean, in fact, I know someone whose daughter just graduated from NYU and she's getting 2 months of free rent in Manhattan, and her rent is super low. So it's amazing. I mean, I know people are buying places for their kids in the college towns they live in because they're getting good deals right now, and they'd rather just buy the place and have to pay rent, and they can have roommates, and then they can have it as investment property later. So, you know, if that's something you're really interested in, I have an extensive network of agents that I've met through mastermind events and conferences over the 16 years I've been doing this. So I'll be happy to refer anyone to anyone if that's something they want to think about. And we expect to actually sell 7% more homes in 2021 than we did in 2020. I think a lot of parts of our country, they were actually shut down, like LA, New York, Pennsylvania. They were actually shut down. And in Maryland, I remember my photographer told me, like, he's like, I can't do any photo shoots in Maryland right now because their governor is a lot more strict than Virginia. So, yeah, so I think the sales are going to go up. We still have really low inventory, so it's just a matter of where that inventory is going to come from. You know, there's new construction starts are really good right now. So I think that's actually, if you're a buyer, a lot easier to get new construction because you're not like in a bidding war. And I haven't seen the thing yet where back a while ago, there was the point where people were waiting in line overnight for when the office opened and they released lots. So they'd actually pay someone to sleep outside that. So anyways, we're not there yet, but if we don't get some more inventory, like I'm already working on listings that aren't even going to come on the market till like February and March, but they're coming, but still not. I mean, at one point I would carry 10 or 15 listings at a time and they would be all active, which actually is a scary place to be too. And I'm glad we're not there because I like it to be a little bit more mainstream. But so those are my projections for 2021 right now. Let me see, I've written all this stuff down just so I can make sure I don't forget anything. So the main points are low interest rates, still in the 2s to 3, low 3. So housing will still be affordable, still gonna have low inventory, and I think appreciation will probably still be in the 7% range. Like there's people who have purchased their house a year or 2 ago and they're like, and I was like, before they wouldn't even break even with closing costs, and now they might walk away with $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. So anyways, those are my main points. And so if you have any questions, obviously you can call, text, email me, private message me, and I'll be happy to discuss that with you. And thanks for everyone who's watching, and I see your lovely comments, and I greatly appreciate them. And I'm glad that this is helpful information to everyone. So if I'll probably come on one more time. I might do like what I projected for 2020 versus what actually happened. I'm gonna go back and look at some of my videos just for fun. Maybe like in a couple weeks I'll do that video. But have a great holiday season, everyone, and stay healthy, and I hope to see you all soon.